Hi, I love Batman. I'm a huge Batman fan, and something, I see sometimes people think about is Batman overused? Is he overrated? Um, do I think Batman's overrated? I'm afraid I can't agree with that. And I mean, I don't know if I can necessarily make the argument that he's underrated because he's, one of the most well-known and popular characters of all fiction, but overrated? I don't really think he's that either. I think he's earned his popularity. And to me, I am a big superhero fan. Superheroes have been one of the big things I've been a fan of, superhero franchises. And I have to say that the Batman franchise really does stand out as something special. And it's does something special for decades. Um, a lot of heroes have become popular, in recent years because of, superhero movies. Like, a lot of Marvel superheroes that didn't used to be well known have gotten popularity thanks to recent movies. But I feel like Batman is something that was popular for a long time. And even if Batman, kind of fades out of popularity for a little while, I feel like he always comes back with new, great, iconic stories. Uh, you know, he's adapted very well. He was quickly became one of the biggest characters in comic book history. After he created in 1939, he had a very successful TV show that was very different in the 1960s, and continued being in cartoons. And when Batman needed to be reinvented, he became darker, and they had the Tim Burton films, and they had Batman animated series. And after Batman the animated series ended, they came out with more cartoons. There was Batman Beyond, which was much different, and they had the Batman, which was much different, and they had different movies like Batman Begins and Batman versus Superman. All these different takes on Batman, or like Gotham, which is a prequel show. And they've had so many takes on Batman. So I feel like Batman is one of the few characters, well, he's one of the few superheroes that's able to be adapted over and over again with new popular takes. And I don't really think that applies to very many other heroes. Like it does apply to Superman, it does apply to Spider-Man. If you count like cartoons and stuff, you could apply it to X-Men too, but it really doesn't apply a lot to a lot of superheroes. And, like Iron Man, not a popular character before 2008, like comic book fans, like I knew who he was, but average people didn't. And it's not like in that time other versions of Iron Man have become popular. They had a cartoon show, but it didn't really last. There hasn't really been a popular version of Iron Man. Captain America, not really popular until like 2011. He like Iron Man did have a cartoon show in the 90s, but that wasn't popular either. And Captain America didn't even get that. And he's supposed to be one of their biggest superheroes. Like Thor, pretty much only big because, Chris Hemsworth is popular, dude. I feel like a lot of these superheroes kind of, they kind of come and go, and they have like one specific version that's able to break out into mainstream, become popular, and that there could be a quality over quantity because if you feel that version is one of the best adaptation of a superhero, that makes sense. But I feel like Batman not only has some of the best adaptations, he has several of the best adaptations that there's ever been. There's been so many great takes on Batman, and he keeps being reinvented. And there are versions of Batman that I really don't care for, but there's been so many different takes, so many different shows, so many different films, so many different comics of Batman that I love. And that really doesn't apply to really that many other characters. Like, again, there's an argument to be made for Superman, Spider-Man, maybe a few others, but really not that many superheroes have been able to be adapted that well or that often. And so I think Batman has earned all the popularity he has for standing out as really the most successful, interesting, and well done superhero franchise of all time.